Avital Miller, ma'am.
How many of you want to be successful? How many of you want to achieve all your dreams and your goals? But how many of you ever have doubts that you could actually achieve them, that they're going to get accomplished? I do. I doubt them. At 27 years old, I was already a program manager at Microsoft, and I was a yoga and fitness teacher trainer, a fitness director. I was teaching 25 to 30 classes a week, all over town. And you would think that I was just invincible. That's how I felt. I was called the Energizer Bunny. But then I started having issues with fatigue. And fatigue isn't just naps, it's your body weighing like a ton of bricks. My hair was falling out. My muscles were turning to fat, and I was becoming weaker than my students. You can imagine that I was getting a little nervous, maybe I'll be out of the job soon. And if you lost the ability to do some of your favorite activities or your work, you would be a little nervous as well. I did what most of us would do. I went to the doctor. The doctor gave me a diagnosis of an autoimmune disorder called Hashimoto's, which also causes hypothyroidism. That's a D right there in the throat. And they gave me a high dosage of medication, a handful of supplements, sent me out the door, and said, that's it for life. I believed them. But I thought, if I'm going to live with this for life, I'm going to learn about it. I started reading, studying online, going to all different kinds of health and healing practitioners. I even came to India for 2 months studying one-on-one with an Ayurvedic doctor. And I looked at a little deeper, what is going on with my diet? What is going on when my energy's high, when it's low? I found out that my mind and my emotions are probably connected with the physical challenges that I was having. How I used affirmations, I worked on my relationships. All of that steadied me. And then I joined a yoga community, started meditating regularly. After a couple of months, the doctors started tapering me off the medication, and that went on for a few years. And when they completely got me off the medication, I wanted to share what I did. You would want to know as well if somebody has these secrets of healing. So I went around the world and I'm sharing these natural healing techniques. As I was traveling, I was meeting people who had even more extreme stories than mine. People who were told that they would die in a few months or even a few hours. But yet this is years later and they're fully healthy. So first I felt like if there's this many stories of that, more people need to know, and I need to put them in my book, which I just published called Healing Happens, Stories of Healing Against All Odds. I wanted to know what they did for success. So I started to interview them and ask them exactly what that was. After the interviews, I made a list of all those success strategies. I realized that it's the same things that I needed to do as a program manager at Microsoft, the same thing as a fitness director, in my relationships, or for happiness. Are you curious what they are?
Yeah.
I'll share 4 key success strategies today. What I want you to do is actually put your hands on your heart, and you're going to help me share the 4 success strategies. So you're just going to open up your arms and say, reason to live. Reason to live. The most common thing that helped people was when they focused on their reason to live. We actually have a wonderful guest here, Mamie Jean Lamley. She is one of the people who I interviewed in my book. The first thing that happened with her was she was told that she could not have any kids. So she thought, well, then I'll just play with other people's kids. That gave her that reason to live. Then she found out she could have kids, and she did. She had 3 beautiful kids. Shortly after that, she was diagnosed with advanced stage cervical cancer. And she thought, I cannot think cancer equals death like most people do, because I have 3 beautiful kids and I want to see them grow up. So he created the mantra, cancer does not equal death, and here we have her today. She created a goal of impacting 5 million people out of that. So imagine thinking that you are on your deathbed potentially to having such an enormous goal and making such a huge gap. But whatever it is, whether it's watching your kids grow up and get married, watching your grandkids, seeing your business become successful. My favorite story was of a woman who stayed alive so she could finish watching her soap opera series. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm an engineer, so I like to think about forces. And when the force of your reason to live is stronger than the disease, that is what is going to win. At minimum, you're going to feel a lot better in the process if you focus on why you're here and what you want to do here. That makes a lot of joy. So once again, please put your hands on your heart and open your hands up and say, reason to live. Reason to live. That's number 1. As you're going along, maybe you have this great idea and you start sharing it with people. Have you ever had people say in response the list of how it's going to be hard, maybe it's impossible? Or did you ever doubt that you would be able to accomplish that? Yes, that happens. We have to be careful what we listen to. And in terms of the medical industry, these are the numbers in the U.S., but there's similar numbers in other parts of the world. In the United States, there's nearly 130,000 people a year who die from taking medications as prescribed. Doctors are human, and they can make mistakes too. I believe that they're meant to heal, not tell us when we're going to die. We can apply that to other areas in life. When we choose to listen to the supportive things that people say, rather than the challenging things that they say. You can start to think about, if you just look for those open doors, you can start to find those open pathways towards those goals and those beliefs. You don't have to listen to everything. Oprah Winfrey, Steven Spielberg, Walt Disney, Dr. Seuss. I can go on and on with names of famous people who were all told at one point their dream was not possible. Thank goodness for us they didn't listen, because we get to enjoy the fruits of their labors. And that's the potential that we all can have. So that one is number 2. That's don't listen to everything. One hand on your hip, other hand forward. Don't listen to everything. Don't listen to everything. That's right. We need to do what we can do. And go ahead and do this with me. Circle your hands around and shake your head. Do what you can do. Do what you can do. Yes. And we have here at the conference another woman who I interviewed in the book. Her name is Bhavna. She's here with her brother today. But a number of years ago, her brother was on his deathbed with bird flu. They suspected that he only had 2 hours to live. Bhavna was into business and finance, but she had just taken a Reiki energy healing training. Her father calls her and says, Bhavna, do something. And in that moment, she thought, all right, I can do something. I've just had this training. For those 2 hours, she did energy healing. She prayed. She chanted. At the end of the 2 hours, her brother got up to go to the bathroom and continued to heal from there. So look for Bhavna, look for her brother here as well. So you can enjoy the presence of when you don't need to listen to everything. And then we do what we can do. Bhavna did these just simple little techniques. Dr. Brooke Goldner had such a serious case of lupus in high school that she was on chemo for 2 years. She never expected to live a long life, to get married, to have kids. Today, she has 2 beautiful boys and is in an amazing, amazing marriage, and she's been free of lupus for 13 years. What did she do? One thing. She changed her diet. Now, I can talk about what specific diet plan she had, but I do believe that there's a different diet plan for everyone. So you don't need to worry about, oh, I need to give this up or that up. You're going to do what you can do. This is part of the key. One thing you do affects another area of life. Go ahead and circle your hands around again and say, do what you can do.
Do what you can do.
Yeah. And you can start to think that, what can I do in 5 minutes right now to start moving in the direction that I want? If you want to be a fluent Chinese speaker, find someone at the conference from China and try to have a 5-minute conversation with them. If you want to be a world-famous chef, cook the next meal for your family. So we start simple. We start with that one little motion that creates the bigger pivot in the long run. The other thing that happens sometimes is that we can hit roadblocks. Right? I've already mentioned sometimes roadblocks feel like when people are telling you it's not possible. Sickness can feel like a roadblock. And here in India, where we have yoga, we talk about karma. Sometimes people think maybe it's bad karma that these things happen. I think it's for a different reason. I think it's because we're having spiritual progress. We've changed internally, and now our body needs to change. Maybe it's a sign to make a change in our life. Whether we change jobs, is that my 2-minute warning? Or is that it?
You can take 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay. I have the timer on here. Changing jobs, but you also get a gift in the process. Mamie learned that she had a gift of using the mandala to do intuitive readings for people. So that is why I say it's important that we ask, what is the gift? You can raise your arms above and sing with me, what is the gift? What is the gift? Yeah, because she's been able to help a lot of other people with that gift that came out of the challenge. Some of you might have noticed challenges from the past tend to turn around into a beautiful gift. Do this with me from the beginning. So we're going to focus on our reason to live. Don't listen to everything.
Don't listen to everything.
Do what you can do.
Do what you can do.
And ask, what is the gift?
What is the gift?
Sir Richard Branson said, you don't learn to walk by following the rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. I want to thank you all. I have a gift for you, so you can meet me out there for a gift after this. I will be speaking again. If you like this, I would invite you to come at 12:30 when I talk about leadership and love. And I'll also be in the lobby from 2:30 to 3:30 if you want to chat a little more or find out more about my book, Healing Happens. Thank you all so much and enjoy this wonderful conference. And thanks for being here too.
All right. Good morning, everybody.